Coming out of London, the Ontario man accused in that deadly attack on the Afzaal family on Sunday in London, Ontario, made a brief court appearance earlier today. Nathaniel Veltman is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. And there could be more charges coming. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick is outside the courthouse in London, Ontario, with the latest.
It was a virtual appearance made by Nathaniel Veltman. This is the way court proceedings are happening in the age of a pandemic that's still going on. So the judge presiding over court this morning was physically in the building behind me, but everyone that appeared was doing so by video link from the detention centers where they're being held, including Veltman, who, as we know, was arrested Sunday night, just minutes after the attack happened. And it was a brief appearance. He was wearing orange clothing and a mask. There wasn't much said. This was a very procedural appearance, and there is also a publication ban that is covering this case. The judge asked a couple of questions. Veltman answered them, but otherwise, that's about all I can tell you. Really, it was just a couple of minutes long, and then they set the next court appearance for June 14th. These very early court appearances are usually very procedural. You don't hear any evidence, you don't hear a plea or anything like that. That comes much later in the court proceedings. And so we didn't learn anything new about Veltman. He's 20 years old. We know he lives here in London. Police have searched his apartment, but otherwise just a brief court appearance here, his second one of the week. He made one earlier, again, shortly after his arrest Sunday night. So far it's just the 5 charges that have been laid against Veltman. 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. And London police saying that they were confident in laying those charges because they do believe this was a pre-planned attack. Why they believe that, they have not revealed. They also haven't shared many details around why they believe this was a hate-motivated attack, that Veltman allegedly deliberately targeted the family because they are Muslim. They have said they don't want to jeopardize their investigation or jeopardize the case, Suhanna, and so they can't reveal those kinds of details at this stage. We do know, they say, terrorism-related charges are, quote, on their radar. That is what London Police Chief Steve Williams told CBC yesterday, but he also said, you know, they have to continue with their investigative work and then determine whether any further charges are warranted. It doesn't work the other way around. There have been calls from some people in the community wanting to see those terrorism charges laid, but as this defense lawyer told us earlier this morning, it's a pretty high bar. Take a listen.
All it really is a different mode of proving criminal liability. So it actually is encompassed in the first-degree murder charge, and we might not see it until we have the trial or the preliminary inquiry where they'll set out whether or not they want to cover that area. As you've indicated, it's very rarely used. Seems like here is a stark example of where it might be completely utilized in to satisfy exactly why the legislation was included.
So we know police, as part of their investigation, Santa, they're talking to witnesses, and they say there were many. This was a beautiful Sunday evening. Lots of people were out and about taking a walk, just as the Afzaal family was when they were standing at a corner at an intersection waiting for the light to change when police say Veltman, driving a black pickup truck, deliberately drove into them, killing 4 of them. And as we know, Fayez is the 9-year-old little boy who survived. He's in hospital. We're told he's in stable condition and recovering from his injuries. And that he is aware that his parents were killed, his sister was killed, and his grandmother was killed. We know there are extended family members who are looking after him, and meanwhile they are also making preparations for a funeral, Suhanna, which we understand will be held on Saturday.